All right, so Major League Baseball, they had their latest $300 million men, respectively. And Manny Machado just signs a deal with the San Diego Padres. A cool $300 million over 10 years, while Bryce Harper, he goes to the Philadelphia Phillies from the Washington Nationals for a whopping, I might repeat that term, I'm just warning you, 13-year, $330 million. Wow, that's a lot of money, a lot of shekels for those all-stars. And they certainly have hugged it out in the past, and I'm sure they'll certainly hug it out again. Our game this year, or at least when they play against each other. That's right, they'll both be in the National. Now, my first thought when it came to Harper, and I heard of his signing, as you see there, he had some great moments in Washington. He did in his 7 years. Well, two thoughts. What would it be like to sign a contract to play baseball for that much loot? And I've thought of that when other athletes have signed big deals respectively in their sports. How about that, man? The Brinks truck just rolling up. What's the sound it makes? Something like that, right? Rolling. Is Bryce Harper that good? Now, I don't consider him by any means a blue chipper. He's a perennial all-star, I'll give him that. He's a former MVP, had a great year in 2015. Batted .336 then. Last year, power numbers RBI there, 3,400, but the average off, 249. I'll get to his career average in just a moment as I make my point. He's not Mike Trout. He's not in that elite blue chip status. Very few players are in Major League Baseball. And we can go on another argument who else is, and I'll save that for another day. But Harper, he's not in that tier. Okay, so my thought was, you know, for that much money, it's a completely different era. I don't know where the thought came from. Completely different ball players. I mean, Bernie was a gazelle, finesse, as a Yankee center fielder primarily in his career, right? Harper more a power-driven guy. There's no switch hitter, Bernie. Harper from the left side. Harper a right fielder. But in their first 7 years, I just, for the heck of it, or as they like to say down here in the South, for the halibut, I went to the numbers. I just wanted to see how they both compared over their first 7 years. Now, mind you, Bernie came up slowly with the Yanks in 91. First season, 30-plus games. Second season, 60-plus games. Then he became a full-time player. Harper, his first year with the Nats in 2010, played 139 games. He's only played 150 games 3 times in his career, so 90 to 75. Hits, Harper 922, Bernie 827. RBI, 521 for Harp, 469 for Bernie, who was so cool when he came up back in the day with wearing those old school glasses, right? I love Bernie. What a ball player. But nonetheless, just an interesting comparison. Makes me wonder what Bernie would have gotten if he played nowadays. I remember at one time, right, when Bernie became a free agent, right in his prime, the talk of him going for big bucks to the Boston Red Sox. Thank God. I thank the baseball guys, I should say, that never happened. Just an interesting thought there on Bryce Harper. I'm sure it'll work out just fine in Philadelphia. That team is stocked, and they can use a lift right now. They're looking for a player that can be a face of the organization. Interestingly enough, with Machado, a player that the Yankees might even shell out the big shekels for, Harper as well. You wonder how long these two will last in their new towns. Look at Alex Rodriguez, right? Signed a huge deal with the Texas Rangers. 10-year deal, lasted 3 seasons. Rest is history, became a Yankee. Period. Meanwhile, Robbie Cano, a one-time Yankee, thought he can be a forever Yankee. And I was disappointed when he went to Seattle. I thought Cano would have it in him. The one thing that bothered me about Cano, not to divert, but I am, is he had a chance to be a captain of the Yankees. Could have became the face of the organization. He never hustled. Never had the hustle and drive to I think, want that. But he became a Seattle Mariner. 10-year deal, lasted 5 years. Now back to the Mets, as he has the golden years of his career is coming in Queens. 4 good years with the Mariners. And we'll see if it makes the Phillies a contender right off the bat.